And look who we have found. The general himself, Mr. Splashing. Uh-huh. Peace and blessings, everybody. Splashing's in the building. You understand? Hope he's all right. I ain't see you this morning, Splash, but we missed you. You understand? This is Jamel Saladin. Everybody, this is the Pokerfaced Society. Now, if you in the kitchen, okay, he doing what he do. Um, we had a great show this morning, man. And like I warned everybody, I told everybody I got content for the next year, right? I'm happy right now. Got content for the next year. Um, I'm finding my groove. Sometimes you gotta take two steps back to take 5 steps forward. So resetting my channel, right? Been up here for for 3 years now. And just peace to the gods and the earth, stay here. And I'm ready to focus in on what it is I really love to do up here, right? Rather than focusing on for numbers and all of that other stuff, right? But the answers just came to me what it is I do love to talk about, right? What I get the most enjoyment out of. And then I'm finding out like other people they are interested, right? Because all is one. It's not just like one. It can't be just one thing. What I mean by that, at the epitome of it, what's nagging me is the knowledge that wasn't given to everybody. That is the epitome of what drives me to get up here on this microphone and really talk, right? Because it's a big deal. It's a big deal because so many people are affected by it. But then the amount of knowledge that they withheld, I said, dang, I got stuff to talk about forever. Right? So there's a bunch of stuff we didn't get to. Yeah, I was just about to give a shout out to Eric Graham because Eric Graham made a comment earlier, man. Like he wants me to really go in. He's ready to have this discussion about the precession of the equinoxes and the astrological ages and the science. And we are, right? So I'm excited that you guys are excited to talk about those things because there's enough time and space, allegedly, to talk about everything that was suppressed and everything that wasn't given. Right. So that's why I'm excited because it finally came to me like, yo, just organize, just structure the comment. There's so much that we could talk about because it's all connected. It's all connected. The Kingmakers. We're going to be going over a video tonight. And like I said earlier, any video that I play up here, if you want to see the whole thing uninterrupted, please go to Beyond You. The developers did something. So right now, if you go on your web browser, they actually updated everything and you can see everything we got up there, right? Because they was way behind. I don't know what they did. Now, I don't want to give it away, but tonight there will be a pre-release on Beyond You TV. You got to go over there and see for yourself. I'm not saying what it's going to be, but I will say this: any documentary that we go over on the show, if you want to see the whole thing uninterrupted, please go over to Beyond You TV, and you can watch it uninterrupted, right? And you could be already ahead of the game because a lot of the content that I will be going over It is in the ancient astronaut vault. If it's not in the ancient astronaut vault, then it's probably in the Killuminati vault. All right. That being said, I'm not here to waste your time tonight. I see Big Killer's in the building. I didn't know if she was gonna have time to grace us with her presence. You understand? She said she had things to do. And when she got things to do, she got things to do. But thank you, madame. She came over, found a little time for your boy. And shout out to her because she broke the news. Well, I was watching her show when the news broke. I'm gonna give a moment of silence for DJ Mr. C. Please, moment of silence for DJ Mr. C. DJ Mr. C was hilarious. You understand? He was hilarious. I got on Mr. Pause. I did not get on Mr. C, but there were certain people I like to talk about while they was, if he was still here, I'd still be saying the same thing. I never talked shady about him because he was into trannies. Um, it was just hilarious how he handled them. And then, if anything, I think Mr. C is what's the word? Not an example, but when Mr. C came clean, see, everybody, this is what I say before we get into our show. We're about to talk about the Kingmakers, right? It's going to be a great show, by the way. So stick around. When Mr. C was denying everything, everybody was going crazy. Yo, Mr. C, they caught Mr. C. The moment Mr. C was like, yeah, I'm into trannies, and what? And then he just kept on doing boat rides like he never came out and said he liked trannies. The only thing people had a problem with a little bit is when he was like, he's into trannies, but he's not gay, right? He kind of had everybody like stumped, but I don't think nobody had time for it. You understand? Because it's like, all right, whatever, bro. I'm not sitting here arguing with you about this. I'm not finna argue with you about this. You did good enough. You said you like trannies, yes? Yeah. That's my thing. All right, then. That's cool. I don't care with you. I don't care. Whatever. And then nobody cared anymore. Nobody cared anymore. Now, I'm leaving the dirty section one way or the other. I know they said it's never been done. My cousin taunted me. Yo, it's never been done. You can't leave a sector once you win it. You're never leaving the dirty sector. Yo, bro, I'm leaving the dirty sector. This time I got it. I'm leaving the dirty sector. Right? I've tried. I've tried to delete my content. I tried to delete my pages. I got kicked out of YouTube 3-4 times. Guess what? This time I got it. So I will be leaving the dirty sector. But before I leave, because a lot of my peers that I came up with, they watch in the bushes. Salute. We're gonna have a good show tonight. Eric Graham beat me to the punch. Eric Graham beat me to the punch. Damn, I must be predictable, bro. They already know what I'm gonna say, bro. Cosmology Bay be doing the same thing. They already know what I'm gonna say. Yo, before I leave the dirty sector, can I just talk to one of my peers real quick? Can we just make time for one of my peers, just one, before we get serious? Bullets, 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 bullets. And I don't mean that in a sound clash way, right? I don't mean that in a sound clash way. I mean, Bullets Gotti. Come forward. Come forward. Bullets. I think you're missing an amazing opportunity, bro. I've said this to you, right? But now that Mr. C is gone, let me just take like 5 minutes just to talk to Bullets Gotti. Bullet Scotty has a special power, right? It's what I call a special power. Now, some people have degrees of being on the spectrum, right? And you don't never know it, right? Who's this guy? Steve Jobs. I believe Steve Jobs could have been on the spectrum, right? Bill Gates is definitely on the spectrum. You ever see Bill Gates? Watch. I'm gonna show you something that Bill Gates can't stop doing. You never seen Bill Gates do his Rain Man thing? Go back now. If you've never seen Bill Gates do the Rain Man thing, right? Where he's like this. Watch. Now that I said something, you're gonna see he's totally on the spectrum, right? So you have functioning people on the spectrum. Word is born. When you go back, watch it. He's gonna be like this. This is Bullet Scotty's superpower, right? His memory is bananas. I've seen this, right? I've seen this since high school. There was a guy named Maurice in my class. He memorized all the encyclopedias. You go around, you ask him what's the population of Bolivia, he's going to tell you. Boom. He never forgets. Yes, Eric Graham. Now that I see that I said it, watch. You're going to see him. You're going to see him do it. They might show it tonight. Well, I don't know. We're watching a video tonight. We're going to break this down, talking about the Kingmakers, right? Power, politics, persuasion. Yes, we are going to talk about that. Bullet Gotti, if you never heard him rap, Son gets busy. I think Bullet Gotti is a better rapper than Zip with the Drip. That's a fact. We can get to that, or we cannot. I don't care, right? I don't care if we get to that or not. Remember when that was? Remember with Sidebar? Remember that when that was hot? Let's get to that. Remember when that was hot? Unsidebar. Bullets can rap. I think he's coming out with a new album. Something is about to drop. Something I'll be getting it right. Bullets can rap as long as if his production is nuts. Bullets can rap. He remembers everything. Totally on the spectrum, right? He could see somebody's character, like the tough guy, the street guy, and then he could go right into it, right? You ever catch him in Clubhouse and you just like a fly on the wall, and you're like, yo, who that? They got the mic. And Bullets is in there bullying the whole room. You're like, is that Bullets? Gotti talking to niggas tough? He's like, yo, chill, yo. That's what I'm saying, man. Niggas is, you gotta chill. I'm like, nigga, is that Bullets? He got niggas shook in the room. I'm like, oh, this nigga Bullets is. Let me not blow his spot. Let me just chill in the back and all that. I hate Clubhouse, by the way. Hate it. Hated it. Hate it. Nah, I'm telling you, if you produce beats, original man, reach out to Bullets, bro. I'm telling you, this nigga's yo, with the right production, woo. Woo might be cap. That's cap. That might be cap. Woo might be cap. That's a little cap, Saladin. Chill out, nigga. You understand? My point is this. Gotti, if you want to go to the next level, bro, you just got to do what Mr. You see the bravery Mr. C he had? Not one person stopped going to this nigga's boat ride. Not one. Not nobody ever stopped going to Mr. C's boat ride. And I went to a Mr. C boat ride after that. And I was at a Mr. C boat ride after that. Never. Never. My nigga would be like, nah, I ain't going to no Mr. C because he's into trannies. The man said what he like already. Now we just starting. We just starting. We just starting, big killer. Man said already what he like. He said his piece, and now he's on the one and twos. You think I'm not gonna be dancing to music because Mr. C? Yo, if that is your thing, if you're not gonna dance to music because the DJ said he's into trannies, bro, you gotta check your own closet. I don't know what's going on with you, right? But you're not showing me confident vibes in your own sexuality. You're not showing me confident vibes in your own sexuality. You so worried about if what another man is doing all the time. You're not showing me confident vibes in your own. Especially if the man already done came out and said, "Yo, I love my money on things." But first of all, I love the brown. Eh? If he already said that, then left the man. Uh, Gotti, if you want to take this to the next, listen to Saladin, bro. I'm never calling them Transformers anymore. You understand? I'm on my Archie Bunker shit. City Bama was good. I'm on some Archie Bunker shit. I was watching a Gift and a Curse podcast today, and she gives a lot of respect to who inspired her, right? And I loved it. It's your boy. It's your boy. This your boy Zeke Black. I'm on the live, Zeke. I'm on the live. Say what's up to the people, bro.
What's up, party people? What's going on? What's going on? What's the topic? What's the topic?
Well, you know, Mr. C passed away. You know that.
Yeah, rest in peace to it.
Right. So what I'm saying is, you see how he admitted that, like, yo, I like trannies.
Mm-hmm.
If Bullets Gotti did that, where you think his career would go, bro? If Bullets Gotti was just come out and be like, yo, I'm into what I'm into. Let's leave it alone. And just where you think his career would go, bro? Yeah, you can't. You got to stay clean. You got to stay. You already had who you had on your heels this week. I heard you had a fat boy in your heels, bro. Queen's Flip was on your heels.
Yeah, he was a little upset. He was me and China was touching up on an interview we did with the champ, and I just said that he's known for trolling. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I've seen content over the years of him trolling. When I first got on the Queen's Flip, he jumped somebody in the studio. You know what I'm saying? It was a fight in the studio. And situations with Lansky and shampoo, the water fights, and the girl. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, did he line Champ up to look stupid on camera? You know what I'm saying? What happened is, me and Queen Flip was been supposed to do an interview like 2020 back in St. Louis. Shout out to my man Little Mark Rodriguez. He was the one setting it up. He reached out to Flip. He's supposed to do some East Harlem stuff. So when I went to New York in December, I said, "Yo, I'm here. If you want, we could do this interview." No. So it was like I hit him up 2 days ago, but it doesn't matter if I hit him up 2 days ago. But I didn't. But if I did, so I guess in his eyes, when I was saying that he be trolling, he was like, "Yo, you hit me up for an interview months ago," and it's like, okay, but that was a minute ago. You know what I'm saying? And what I'm saying is, I know Champ personally. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I really know Champ. This is not I met him online on the inbox. Yo, bro, I see what you're doing. Me and him spent the yard many times. You know what I'm saying?
Heard you.
And I was, due to the consequences, I was in the penitentiary with him. You know what I'm saying? He's a good dude. And he always done the music stuff. And, you know, Champ is a good dude. He's not, you know, he wild and crazy, but he got his own, you know what I'm saying? He, you know, everybody don't have to be a dirty blood, a dirty sector type of guy. He's not that type of guy. So Math has come at him crazy. It's like it was weird activity. I learned a lot. Queen's Flip has grown up. You know what I'm saying? And he said that Champ knew what he was walking into. It's just on how we look at it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta prep, like, you know, it is a caller show. Anything can go, anything can happen. Prepare yourself. And I think when Son was calling, because he's cool with Mav, I think, you know what I'm saying, it just went left.
And I get that, but I don't like how he had to bring that up. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what I took offense. As soon as I heard that, I'm like, what Queen's Flip is trying to play Zeke? Like, okay, so he reached out to you and I was supposed to do an interview. So now,
so I don't know what direction that was, but yo, you tried to reach out to me for an interview, like you calling me a troll. I'm not gonna say it. He ain't say to your troll. He just said that reach out for an interview.
Okay, and okay.
Then he goes into, yo, it's the third time, and it's the Kev Webb situation. Because he said, you know me, I know Kev Webb, and this is why I'm not beefing with you because of Webb. You know what I'm saying? But you keep like dissing me. Nigga can go. You know what I'm saying? You hear me? Kev Webb ain't stopping you, nigga. You hear me?
Yeah, that's what we try. That's all I want to find out is we got to sharpen the knives or not, bro.
Nah. I think with him is he wanted to explain himself to China. Nah, this is the situation. Boom. So he didn't want no smoke. You hear me?
Okay.
He wanted to explain that to China. Nah, it was a choice.
Because they not really dirty sector. So we could turn the dirty sector up on them if that's what they want. If they really want dirty sector heat, we could give them the dirty sector heat.
I think, you know what it is, man? Is that Flip doesn't really know who Zeke is.
Got you.
He's gathered around a bunch of guys who's gave him half of mixed stories. So he just thinks, I'm this guy on the internet trolling the New York Bloods.
Got you.
He's just mad because we won't give him an interview. But he doesn't, I know it because the way he's speaking is like I'm trolling them. I'm trolling him. You hear me?
Yeah, he don't know. He's out the loop.
He doesn't know that I'm the one that put together what became his couch. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He doesn't know that. He doesn't know that I'm the one that actually made contact with Snow Billy and brought him to a platform. I helped build that platform to that interview. That's crazy. How that platform got involved with the 6ix9ine, with the whole 6ix9ine situation, is because I found Snow Billy fucking with Gully TV.
Listen, Zeke, I ain't gonna lie. I got some people waiting to get enlightened. They say you're trying to drag me back in the dirty sector. You understand? It's just that. Yeah. I got people in Sweden waiting on me, man. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. I'm international. I know.
Tell the Swedes that's so what's up. That's all that happened. It's all love, though. You know what I'm saying? Love and hip hop. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt. Yo, Zeke, I'm gonna hit you up in a little bit, man. Let me get through this show.
All right,
one love. All right, party people. That's the godfather of the dirty sector. That is Zeke Black tapping in with your boy Jamel Saladin. You understand? Thanks to Eric Graham and Big Killer for bringing me back. You understand? It's just that fast. You know what I'm saying? This is why I never proclaim to be anybody's pastor. You understand? Because it's about balance with me. Sometimes I go off the rails. I need people to bring me back. Like, yo, son, you just say you leaving the dirty sector. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I be with the bullshit. Yo, let's get into the show, bro. Gotti, you thought I forgot because I got a phone call that. Let me finish the last 60 seconds with Gotti. That's it, 60 seconds. Last thing I want to say, Gotti, is this, and then I got to get into this show, beloved. I feel if you go ahead and because we already know. That's the thing. And I never stop. I never played you or be like, I never do that, right? I just say what it is because I know that's what you really like. You understand? I'm never going to not do a show with you. I'm still going to hit you up and be like, yo, Gotti, can you do this for me? Let's be clear what I'm asking for you to do for me. No Diddy, you understand? Yo, Gotti, can you do this interview? Yo, Gotti, can you talk on camera for me? No, Little Rod. No, Little Rod. Please, God forbid. God forbid. You understand? No, Little Rod. That's it, Gotti. Live your truth, and I guarantee you, you're going to hit the moon, bro. That's it. That's it. Now, let's get into the show. Understand? I'm in the Illuminati mood. You understand? Mac mean, Jesus Christ, Shaw Banks. Yikes. Break bread, nigga. He came in swinging swords. God. All right. Let's go. Splashing. Let me know how the levels is, bro. Can you hear this? Cause hold up. Let's first do this. Can you hear those that can you hear that, Splashing? Okay. Let's start it over. Splashing said he can't hear anything. And I'm need you guys to hear the video. They do this sometimes. This is why I got to ask Splashing. Can't hear anything. Okay. We're gonna remove this. We'll get it right. We'll get it right. Let's stop. Start it again. Don't nobody go nowhere. All right. Got it. Okay. Now let's see.
You have these private groups that are run and created by the elite, by the ultra rich, wealthy families that.
Can we? You good? Okay. Now we cooking with grease. Now we cooking with grease. All right. Let's talk about the Kingmakers tonight. I'm gonna say this. They do a good job. And by they, who's they, Saladin? Every 4 years, they tell us to vote, right? They got candidates. I don't particularly understand how the Electoral College works, but they tell me it's all rigged. I don't know nothing about it being all rigged. What I will do is I'll make a mental note to understand the Electoral College for you, just so that we can have a bigger and deeper discussion about that, right? But even outside of that, when I look at, I have to really think, could an ordinary man, a nobody, run for a position that high and be put into like actually just become president? Does anybody even believe that? That can an ordinary man or woman, right? Just even if everyone loved them, is that how it works? Or does the voting system actually work? I'm totally confused a lot of times. Just when I start to have faith and be like, nah, the voting system works. You got to vote. You got to get out there and vote. And then it's just something that always makes me feel like, man, this thing is jerry rigged, right? when Bush stole the election, who did he steal it from? Who stole it from John Kerry? Wasn't that Bush? I think I was. That's when my faith really started to go down, right? And it wasn't that he stole it; it was the fact that John Kerry didn't put up a good fight. It was like, oh, he stole it, man. Like he was on some extra gentleman niceness, and I'm like, bruh, why would you work that hard only to give it away like that when the count is off? The count is clearly off, right? So when it happened again. When did it happen? I think that was the Biden, the first time. Yeah, well, I guess when Biden got into office, and they were going over the voting machines. What were they called? Dom, domino voting machines. Hold on, because that's gonna bug me, right? Unless somebody knows in the chat, but let me. I'll find out the answer right now. Voting systems, Dominion. When the Dominion voting systems were used, and in the American elections, right? Here's what threw me off with the Dominion voting. When I learned that these voting systems had already been defected, like in other countries, other third world countries had stopped using the Dominion voting system because they were faulty and other reasons, right? Yeah, there you go, Splash. And I said, why would we? Why would we? Right? And then I went down that whole rabbit hole of the Dominion voting system and everything. And a lot of stuff didn't make sense. And I said, oh, this is crazy. Right. So I had to really think, even though you're talking to someone who did. Now, a lot of people, they're going to be pissed off when I say this, but I don't know if I'm supposed to care. Right. Because I already lost friends and family over this. I liked what Donald Trump stood for, right? What he said he stood for. I like what Donald Trump said, what he said he stood for. So I was like, oh, hell yeah, son is talking right. Son is talking right. And I'm not even talking about all of the stuff that people said he was going to do on Facebook and, oh, he's about to arrest this one and he's coming after Ellen DeGeneres and Tom Hanks for trafficking. Did I wish that he would do that? I did. But I also knew this is propaganda, right? There'd be a lot of propaganda going on. Even if the propaganda is on my side, I'm still gonna call a spade and be like, yo, it's propaganda though. Like I would like that to happen. You understand? Because Ellen DeGeneres, I think she's heavily involved. Just from the little research I had done from in the conspiracy theories and the whole hoodie that she wears and the emblem and the meaning behind it. And then when I went to go check it out, I'm like, yo, you into some stuff, Ellen. You into some stuff, Ellen. Then when I seen her do the hangman ritual on her show, pleading for help. When I seen Oprah Winfrey with the monitor on, I fell into the conspiracies. I'm like, oh snap, Trump really going after it. So it got really stupid for a second, right? You like, yo, is there a war going on outside no man is safe from that is pitting this side against this side? I think Trump lost me when he he stood up for Israel and was like, this is your land, this, that, and the third. That's what Trump lost me, and I was just like, man. Like, you had me at we should continue fracking. You understand? You had me at make America great again, because it's propaganda in my eyes that make America great again, make America white again. Me personally, that's not how I seen it, but a lot of people seen it that way, and I'm not even here to debate with you about that, right? Because no one's going to be able to change your mind. I'm just telling you how I took it. There was a lot of things that was great about America. He said, make America great again. And like I always remind everybody, when I grew up, it said, anything you turned over, right? You would turn over toys and they say made in America. Everything was made in America, made in America. And then as capitalism started to evolve and these businessmen found out they can get things cheaply made across the water, everything blew out of control, right? And when there's no balance, then we get what we get. And what did we get? We had a country that doesn't export anything, imports everything. Like this, I'm not the smart. I promise you, I'm not the smartest guy in the room. It's just I just figured economics is not supposed to work like that, right? You're supposed to have something to trade, but if you're only buying, this doesn't seem like this is supposed to work like that. So if all you guys are on the same side, right? Let's discuss this. Are all these people on the same side, or is there still a system that the citizens of America can rely on? Can we really still look at two candidates and say, I choose this candidate and count on that candidate not to bump their head? Now, in my opinion, Trump did a lot of things great. That's my biggest slight, the joint with Israel, right? Because we give them too much money. So right now, I'm definitely I don't know nothing about a vote for anybody, because Trump loves the fact that we give so much money to Israel, and Biden also loves the fact that we give so much money to Israel, and we got so many things here in America that we should be taking care of, and we're giving all the money away. And then when it comes to that, right? I'm going to give you an example. When the train derailed in Pennsylvania, what was it, Pennsylvania or Ohio? Somebody tell me. And then America was like, yo, you don't apply. You don't fit the requirements for emergency funds. Oh, like you talking about infuriating. I'm like, yo, how are we not right? So to see them put mechanisms in place that if you get too out of control with your frustration, Ohio. Thank you, Shaw Banks. If you get too out of control with your frustration, then we will deem you a violent domestic extremist. This is what's going on, right? Let's watch the show. I'll break up the show. I'll comment every now and then. If you want to watch the full show uninterrupted, then guess what? You'll go to Beyond You TV like everyone else, Ohio. Thank you. And you'll watch it there uninterrupted. All right? Let's go.
By the ultra rich, wealthy families that have been manipulating global markets from behind the scenes for generations. They create these private groups that then feed information to the government, to senators, to congressmen, their recommendations, their policy papers, what they think should happen. And it's fascinating because if you actually read what it is that they're doing, the recommendations that they make, they're very able to get them put in place. Discussions that are going on in these private groups are really talks that should be going on in Senate committees and in the halls of Congress, but they're happening with these ultra elite groups that are then pushing their propaganda into the political mainstream, and then it's becoming enacted, it's becoming put into law.
Still, now, can I say something? Just bring that back just 1 second there, right? 1 second. This here is a white man, blue eyes. You understand? Not blonde hair, but white man, blue eyes, Caucasian features. Obviously, he's just as upset as we are, black people. So this is not, I say that to say this is not a white black thing. Right? Now, right now they was pushing the white black issue hard, right? They was paying, let me not. I don't know who they was paying. I end up in an Alex Jones situation. Let me rephrase all of that. It seemed like the media was pushing a lot of content about white cops shooting black people. A lot, right? All the things you guys could cover, right? Now, when I did my research, I found out there's a lot of white cops out here shoot, like, and not just now, like there's cops out here that shoot people because this is what happens in the street, right? Right. So, but sometimes it was warranted, the story. And then sometimes it just seems like a lot of stories. Like it just seemed like because you know this is a trigger for black people, right? And you know what's going to make us do. And then because we're all human beings, the other race is going to be like, yo, it wasn't me that did that to you. So I don't know why you hate me. But if that's how you feel, let's get it on. Let's get it on. Right? So it is a manipulation of energy while they get to run off and they get to do something else while we're tangled up in that web of energy right there. Right? So I want to remind everybody. Let me look at you real quick. We're about to get into this. I want to remind you. The fist is going to hit harder than a slap. The fist is going to hit harder than a slap. There's a story in this book about the people coming together and wanting to build a tower to the heavens. They wanted to do the impossible. They wasn't going to hear nothing about, yo, I can't do this. No, the people was one, right? Before we get into this, I got to read this to you. I got to read it to you, right? So it's Genesis 11, right? And it said, the people decided and they said, let us build us a city and a tower whose top may reach unto the heaven, and let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. This is the people. Not the black people, not the Asian people, not the white people, the people. The people. And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower which the children of men builded, right? Okay. And the Lord said, behold, the people is one. He sounds shook. And the Lord said, oh, the people is one. And they have all one language. He's understanding what's going on. We on code. We on code. We got the same vision. We got the same agenda, beloved. We talking the same thing, right? That part. And they begin to do, and now nothing will be refrained from them, which they have imagined to do. This is the Lord that said that. So Eric Graham says, but the gods shut it down. The gods is the government. How did the gods shut it down? How did the gods shut it down? The gods shut it down through confusion. No? The gods shut it down through confusion. That was the only way they was able to stop us then, and that's how they stop us now. We stopped talking to, we wasn't able to talk to one another. They confused us. I don't know what you're talking about. Nah. You got your language, I got mine all of a sudden. You understand? Good. Let's go on. Let's move on. Right? Let us move on. Hold on. Trying to find. Where's the one? Is this it? Nah, that's not it. That's it. All right, let's go.
Pushing their propaganda into the political mainstream, and then it's becoming enacted. It's becoming put into law.
Still not convinced the CFR is promoting a new world order? Listen to what Leslie Gelb had to say upon leaving the New York Times to chair the organization as its president in 1993.
I loved it. Doing a column is a great job. I'm going to an equally great but different job, and in a way, a job that caps everything I've been doing in my life, in government and academia and in journalism. I think that's what the Council on Foreign Relations will allow me to do. For example, you had me and 3 or 4 other folks on this show a few months ago to talk about the New World Order, right?
Exactly.
Right?
Bob
I talk about it, exactly. Right. I talk about it all the time.
New World Order wants a global system where one small central authority of individuals can then dictate a policy that's going to be distributed down to the rest of the world, everywhere, in the smallest little town in the middle of nowhere in some remote country.
I now think it's safe to say that the Council is extremely influential on the world stage and openly promote global governance. The Council and the globalists were able to take this agenda to the next level following World War II. The United Nations was born out of the ashes of this conflict. Unlike the League of Nations, the United States not only joined this organization, they championed it.
First book I wrote was The Fearful Master. The second.
So tonight, if you haven't picked up, we're talking about something called the CFR, the Council of Foreign Relations, which I do believe David Nelson Rockefeller was involved in that as well. Right? So if you have enough money, you can go around and you can put together these groups and these committees. You can spearhead these committees, or suggest rather. Right? The same way Bill Gates went around and he suggested that the next big investment should be in vaccines, right? This is after everyone came for him behind the him monopolizing the software, right? He was butthurt and he had to go and look for what's the next big thing because it's not money. It wasn't money that he was after at that point, right? But if you take away his plaything, and you're going to just inspire him to be more diabolical. And that's all America did. When they took away his monopolization of the operating system, he's like a kid that he wants to take the ball home, right? We're having a good time. He's like, yo, it's my ball. I want to run. And all right, cool. And then he goes off, and then God forbid when you see him coming back, right? You don't know what he's coming back with. Like, you just don't trust it, but you got a bad vibe. So son left and came back with an interest in vaccines. It was bananas. Now, this is what I want to say. I want to show you guys something. This is my YouTube. Right? 4 hours. This is a YouTube short. 4 hours. I put up something earlier about this. I don't know if you can see it, right? You probably can't see it. Oh, you can see it. Good. You can see it good. 4 hours, and I got 5 views. 5 views on a short. But the short was about the New World Order. You see? It's a short, beloved. It's not supposed to be like no one stopped to look at it, no one's interested. So don't pay attention to what they tell you because it's all lies, right? They can say, oh, no, that's what they would say if I even reached out to YouTube and be like, yo, how's it been 5 hours and 5 people have seen this short? Well, maybe when no one's interested in that content. Or maybe your system was able to tell what the content was about and censored it so that we can't communicate with each other. This is an old tactic that they're going to get better at. So if you notice, it's like they don't mind Billy Carson talking about ancient Anunnaki, and he could talk about that until he's blue in the face, right? 19 keys. Everyone could talk about systems to make money. You could talk about there's certain things you could talk about. But does no one realize there's a bunch of there's important things that we cannot talk about? Or are you so drunk off the punch that you not even recognizing that there's not even one person that could talk about the vaccine or vaccines, period, right? It is suicide to talk about these things. Yeah, I digress.
Look at the United Nations. It was written at a time when it was not popular to be critical of the UN. I mean, the United Nations was viewed by almost everybody as our last best hope for peace. It was a means, we were told, to bring humanity together and put an end to war and live in peace and harmony and promote trade and all of these good things. I wish it were any of those things, but it's not.
The original charter for the United Nations was drafted in San Francisco in 1945, and the United States became a permanent member of the Security Council, along with France, the United Kingdom, the Soviet Union, and the Republic of China. The process by which other nations' belief systems could be used to erode and eviscerate our Constitution and Bill of Rights had taken a giant leap forward.
The United Nations is one of the most well-known sort of globalization attempts. Its primary goal is to streamline all the governments of the world, to create a global council and to unify all the rules and all the regulations for the world. So it's essentially the precursor and an engine of this new world order.
The United Nations is made up of all of the countries of the world, most of which are dictatorships of one kind or another. And you don't take a bunch of dictatorships and put them into a bag and shake it up and come out with a freedom-loving governmental unit. You come out with a global dictatorship.
This was the public base of global governance. However, many other organizations have been birthed since.
So again, we're talking about the Council of Foreign Relations. Sidebar, I see Eric Graham down there. He said there's a guy in Germany who took 217 COVID shots. I was on a site the other night, and they were begging for help because of the adverse effects. I've learned personally that when you start to talk about the adverse effects and you start to show documentation and you start to prove your point, you will be shut down, right? And now a lot of this stuff is even written into the YouTube guidelines just so that they don't have to deal with it, right? And what we do as a people is we just move on and we say, well, and that's fine, right? I guess. But what I hate is the people that they get so frustrated and outraged that they want to start doing people harm because you're still bringing it up, right? They're so ready to move. Let's just move on and get back to normal life already, right? This is an experiment. I've watched people tell other people to put their mask on, right? And they was upset and they said, it's because of you that we can't get back to normal life. Just put the mask on. And I said, damn. That's who they want. They want you, right? Someone that's going to be unapologetically a sheep. Unapologetically a sheep, right? No, I'm a sheep, Saladin. I'm not going to lie to you. I just want my family to go back to normal. Bro, they're going to set your family up for slaughter. That's what you thought? You the guy who thought if I just dig my grave, they'll let me live, right? You're that guy. You ever noticed? What movie was that? The Irishman. It was The Irishman. He went to war, right? And he said he couldn't understand how they just kept on digging their own graves, right? He would run down on the opposition and they would tell him to dig graves. And they would dig the grave. Dig a hole. Bro, let me tell you something right now. If anybody ever runs on you and takes you to a field and then lets you out of the car and tells you to dig a hole, bro, can I help you? The hole is for you. The hole is for you. So, what's up, Bria? Thank you for joining us tonight. Just in case you wanted to know, no, that we cannot go back to normal. Yeah, the hole is for you. It's crazy talk. God forbid the hole is really for you. Oh, Lord. That's crazy nonsense.
Even more suspect is a private group called the Trilateral Commission.
David Rockefeller and Henry Kissinger are among its some 300 influential members.
The Trilateral Commission, rich and powerful business and political leaders.
Now, we went over the Council of Foreign Relations. When you add the Trilateral Commission, pay attention to this. And when you add the Trilateral Commission in the Bilderberg Group, these are very strong groups. I've tried to do shows on this before, and I got no burn. Eric Graham, that's crazy. The whole is... Who's running on that campaign? Huh? Let's make America great again. The whole is for you. That's how you get them out to vote. Right there. You're going to see who's who. You're going to see who's who. Like, I ain't never seen you come out and vote. Nah, but I'm hearing good things. What? What are you talking about? No, I'm hearing great things. The whole is for you, but nah, what? This is America. This is America.
From Japan, Europe, and North America, the New York-based policy group was formed in 1973 by Chase Manhattan Bank Chairman David Rockefeller. In addition to Rockefeller, there were many other noted American members. Among them, economist Alan Greenspan, former Defense Secretary Harold Brown. George Bush was once a member, but resigned last year before his unsuccessful presidential campaign. Back then, it wasn't politically wise to be aligned with what his party's right wing considered a shadow world government.
The United Nations would take over America. The Trilateral Commission would control the world. Just look at its membership, they say. Current and former members include Presidents Clinton, Bush.
Now, obviously, the Bushes give me reptilian vibes, right? Actually, everybody up here on this, every last one of them gives me reptilian vibes. There's not a doubt in my body. Every last one of them gives me reptilian vibes. But the main thing I want to point out is, never mind the reptilian vibes nonsense that I'm talking about. The main thing I want to talk about is what I spoke about in the beginning. Are we being played? Many people did not even know that this gentleman right here was this guy's protege. We would not find that out until later. This guy was sent. Well, he was set up as a Democrat, right? Obviously, this guy was a staunch Republican, right? So here we have the contrast between red and blue triggers, right? Symbolism, right? Are you red? Are you blue? They on the same team, beloved, right? They are super elite. And Bill just wants to play his part. And if that means playing the blue team, if they say you go blue, right? Skins against shirts, bro. It don't matter. We all win. We all win at the end of the day. Now, I don't know who could penetrate that. I don't know who could penetrate Washington at this point except the gods themselves. Right? I don't know if the gods will return. Do I think they will? I do. When? I don't know. I more than likely won't be here. I more than likely won't be here. I don't think they're going to return in my lifetime. Is Earth worth it, right? Is Earth worth coming down and dealing with this nonsense? Did we not read in the Sumerian tablets how when the humans were created, then they made so much noise? It was the noise for the gods. They was just like, yo, they're making so much noise down there. He wanted to flood the earth because they was making too much noise, bro. This is what's said in the Sumerian tablets. The complete Enuma Elish is now. I told you last night it was going to be up there. I apologize. I had to check. It is now up on Beyond You. And we will check before I end this show just to make sure I'm not fibbing. Right? So I just wanted to make that quick point because every 4 years these people over here come out and they go to black churches and they go to black restaurants and they pull hot sauce out of pocketbooks, and it's always some old mammy that child, I knew you was with it, right? Bill is in the corner like Capo. He got on the Jim Jones shades, right? He's ready to play a note on the sax at the drop of a dime, right? To get you in the mood because they understand who you are. You are rhythmic people. Your anatomy responds to a certain rhythm. They already know this, beloved. They know you. You don't know you. Right? All of a sudden, Hillary got black girl necro. I was surprised she just don't show up in damn cornrows. Let me stop giving out my PR ideas. Because fuck around, she showed with extensions this year to the cookout. That's Hillary. She'll do that. She will. You think Hillary won't show up to your cookout with some motherfucking extensions? She straight cornrows, asking if anybody plays spades. Y'all play spades? What? Disrespect. What?
And Carter, names like Brzezinski, Christopher, Kissinger, and Schultz, and top executives of ITT, Xerox, Exxon, and Nations Bank.
Although this group with only 300 members seems to be at the apex of the power structure, there is yet another group formed in 1954 that is even smaller in number and has a greater influence on world events. Meet the Bilderberg Group. This elite group meet annually around the globe. There is a core group of members who have attended every year for decades, such as David Rockefeller, Henry Kissinger, and Queen Beatrix of the Netherlands. These members invite others who are politically and socially relevant at the time. Each year, around 140.
Now, I know, black people, I know you barely got the capacity to really pay attention, right? Because you got so much real, because we've been oppressed so long. We got, like, man, I got real shit to worry about. But I just felt like you need the knowledge. You need the knowledge. You need to know what's going on, right? So even if you can't do anything about it tonight, at least you are aware. And I'm assuming, because we have to reset the structure on how we do things, right? So I'm in my 40s, so I can't look at somebody in their 60s and like, yo, where's the leaders? We are the leaders, bro. How you in your 30s, 40s, and 50s talk about where's our leaders? Blood, look in the mirror. You the leader. You the leader. How old do you think Fred Hampton was? How old do you think Martin Luther King was? You thought, I know they look wild old, right? Martin Luther King looked 40. I ain't gonna hold you. Martin Luther King always looked 40, right? He had some Benjamin Button shit going down. It was never a time he didn't look 40, 50 years old. He was 26, beloved. 26. Right? Fred Hampton was feeding. Fred Hampton had a food program in his community. He was 21, beloved. So again, how do you talk about where's the leaders?
3 people are in attendance.
Real quick, I asked you this question. You attended the meeting in Italy called the Bilderberg Group. I just want to know what you were doing out there, what that was all about.
Excuse this part here. It's a lot of noise. It's not you. It's the video. Obviously, this guy's talking to Lindsey Graham, but it's just a lot of noise. And I guess that's why they typed it out, because you can barely hear anything. So it's not you. It's the video.
I told me she didn't go. I figured you might tell me the truth.
All I did was go. They had a Republican and a Democrat. I gave like a 20-minute talk on the presidential election.
Did it have anything to do with being John Kerry's running mate? Did you talk about that at all?
No, because I wasn't his running mate.
Okay.
Oh, he said that's Senator Edwards and not Lindsey Graham. He looked like Lindsey Graham.
I happened to be in Europe then on my way to Russia. I was invited to go to Bilderberg by Bernard Jordan, a friend of mine, and a genuine hero of the civil rights.
Yeah, I just seen that splashing. He, from the side angle, it looked like him.
Movement. And to the best of my knowledge, NAFTA was not discussed by anybody in my presence.
Documents released by the group in 2001 revealed that in September of 1955, the group met in Germany and covertly outlined the idea of a European Union. Section E, European Unity, discusses the general support for European integration and unification, and the idea to unify Germany once again with the rest of Europe under a common marketplace. Belgian Viscount and current Bilderberg chairman Etienne Davignon told the EU Observer in 2009 that the next Bilderberg meeting could improve understanding on future action in the same way it helped create the euro in the 1990s. This illustrates the patience.
All right, let's just stop for a second. I remember there was a guy. The name is gonna come to me. The name of his YouTube name is gonna come to me, right? MBK Crypto. MBK Crypto. MBK Crypto been quiet. MBK Crypto been in the bushes, beloved. I remember when MBK Crypto went off on your boy Saladin. Told me I don't know what I'm talking about. You understand? Because I said that there's no way in the world that the central bank would allow a decentralized platform, monetized system. It's no way in the world. There's no way in the world. I've said this. He thought I was shooting down cryptocurrency because he was making money off of Bitcoin, this, that, and the third. I said, no, beloved, that's not what I'm doing at all. You think I don't understand, but I fully understand. I fully understand. I understand how the blockchain works. But I also know blockchain by itself is kind of like useless unless it's going to be utilized on a platform of some sorts, unless it's going to be utilized on a program that everyone utilizes. So the mechanics of blockchain can be decentralized all day and night. But the platform that is put on is definitely going to have governance, right? And slowly but surely, you started to see more and more digital wallets fall by the side. Now, if you did get involved in cryptocurrency at all, and especially in the beginning, one of the most frustrating things was the fact that you had to have all these wallets, and each wallet would give you like 12 passwords. And then if you lost, I know somebody who brought crypto like 4 years ago, like not 4 years ago. I know somebody that brought crypto, Bitcoin. Listen to me. I know somebody that brought Bitcoin like 10 years ago. Now, peep the date I'm giving you, right? Peep the date I'm giving you. I know somebody that brought Bitcoin like 10 years ago, and they haven't been able to get back into their wallet since, right? But they claim the money is there, right? But I know that could be a great thing because they probably would have sold their Bitcoin by now. Only thing I hope is that the wallet itself still exists, because I've got several emails from Binance that told me like, yo, I don't know if Binance was trying to tell me that we ain't going to be around no more. So if you come to get your money, come and get it right now. At the end of the day, there was going to be no way in the world. I told this guy that the central bank would allow some random Satoshi Nakamoto to come up with some monetary system that was going to interrupt their flow. Do we understand the central bank has been around for like thousands of years? Do we? I don't think we understand that part right there. Again, there's things that we have not been told. I believe that these people are way older than they appear to be. I actually don't think some of these people die, right? this is conspiracy I'm talking about right now. I don't know if this is true. I'm just telling you what I believe. I don't think some of these people die. I think they just transfer their consciousness to a newer and younger body. And when the time is right, that's all that really happens, right? So Queen Elizabeth, maybe that body died, but I definitely think Queen Elizabeth transferred her consciousness to a younger body, and she's out here doing whatever she does to this day. All right, let's get back into this thing here.
Vision and reach of this organization. It was able to promote and establish both a European Union and a European currency over the course of just under 40 years, incrementally.
One of the things that the elitists discussed back at the turn of the century when they were talking about how do you convert the United States into a collectivist system was the fact that you can't do it quickly. You have to let people get used to it incrementally, because any major change would be rejected.
Ooh, did you hear what he said? Now that was jewelry right there. That was jewelry right there. And I've seen this done. Yo, Biden used a tactic, right? It was brilliant. Biden said, yo, we don't have enough vaccines for everybody. Biden said we don't got enough vaccines for everybody. So if we get to you, then we'll get to you. You know what that did when he did that? Everyone immediately said, what do you mean you don't got enough vaccines for me? I need to be safe. I said, damn, that was clever. Got him. And I know he was like, yo, we got these fools. got them. Got him. He went from having to try to convince you to get this, right? I thought that was going to be way harder. To you begging for it. Yo, man. So another way they used that was, you see what Alex Jones is, see that? Now, I'm one of those people who I still need answers from Sandy. I still need answers, right? I need answers about the two guys that was running in the woods that the camera caught for, and then didn't want to explain what was going on there. Right? There's a lot of things that made sense. Should Alex Jones should have let it go? Maybe. I don't know. His voice was so big. People started to really pay attention to the loopholes that was in that whole Sandy story. But again, there was several psyops, whether it was a psyop or not. There was several psyops where it was kind of like, okay, they're going to keep on running these plays. Like someone's going to walk into a movie theater and just shoot people up until the citizens themselves say, yo, what do we need guns for anyway? We want harsher gun laws. Why does a regular person need a automatic weapon anyway? Let me ask you something, beloved. Why does the police need an automatic? What type of crimes you trying to stop, beloved? We got the same old crimes out here. Same old crimes. Actually, they're getting less and less, right? Because not everybody's running around selling coke like the late 80s and 90s. Nobody's running around selling that amount of coke like that. I can't say nobody. Nobody's a stretch. There's definitely somebody out here getting to the bag right now. Push it to the limit. Huh? But what I'm saying is the accessibility at the not only the accessibility, but it just ain't what it used to be. Like they've been cracking down on that, and nobody's like running to get themselves locked up. You got so many snitches out here, don't nobody know how to do business. So it ain't the same game that it used to be.
1957 Conference of Rome.
Let me bring that back. What he said was allow people to accept it themselves, right? Get them to say, yo. But if you tell them what to do, if you tell them they have to do it right away, they're going to be skeptical. And they're going to say, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. Why you want me to do that? No, all right. So when you're dealing with reptilians, understand that they have a lot of patience. And we are dealing with reptilians. So this is what I'm saying. When they stay on code, right? They do their part, and then that's it. They don't have to see the finish line in their lifetime, as long as they contributed to the cause. That's all they're proud about. They can go to their grave happy knowing I contributed to the agenda to see this thing go forth. I'm gonna play that again. I want you to listen to what he's saying.
Elitists discussed back at the turn of the century when they were talking about how do you convert the United States into a collectivist system was the fact that you can't do it quickly. You have to let people get used to it incrementally, because any major change would be rejected.
The 1957 Conference of Rome, where the Common Market Treaty, providing for free trade in all products, was at last signed. 6 nations, France, Germany, Italy, Belgium, Holland, and Luxembourg, agreed to...
That's crazy. Not a black man in sight. That's nuts.
remove all mutual barriers to trade within 12 to 15 years, the embryo of a political union which they proclaimed to be their ultimate objective.
In that fashion, it's possible for people to get used to this process and even to think it's a good thing. People will accept the gradual growth of government, the gradual loss of their purchasing power. They'll accept almost anything if it's done gradually. And we have to be very alert to that.
2008 and 2009 attendees include World Bank President Robert Zoellick, Treasury Secretary Timothy Geithner, former head of British Secret Intelligence Richard Dearlove, Donald Graham, CEO of the Washington Post, CNN host and author of The Post-American World, Fareed Zakaria, and many other giants of business, politics, and media.
You just came back from meeting with the Bilderberg Group. The Bilderberg Group are, when people who are conspiracy theory people, they send me mail, it's usually about the Bilderberg Group. And I get these books on my front door, which I'm uncomfortable with. And it's all about the Bilderberg, like they're the modern day Illuminati. Are you a member of the Bilderberg Group?
I don't think we're supposed to talk about this.
Many have identified them as the Kingmakers, the puppet masters that pull the strings behind the scenes. Perhaps there is no better example of this than what occurred during the 2008 conference. Immediately after Obama had been selected as the Democratic presidential nominee, the pressure was on to choose a running mate.
We've put together a committee. We are going to be equally deliberative in how we move forward. And we're not going to do it in the press, and we're not going to do it through surrogates.
He then tricked the press corps into staying on the plane as it took off from Washington. He was whisked away to an undisclosed location.
What's interesting and dangerous,
I think that's propaganda. I think Obama's whole clip right there was straight propaganda. I don't know if he was whisked away. He just didn't feel like talking to the press. Saladin, they say I was whisked away. I wasn't whisked away. I was eating a bologna sandwich and another town car pulled up and I hopped in. They said I was whisked away. I wasn't whisked away at all. So you got propaganda against propaganda. It's crazy. This is why it's important to remain balanced. You understand? Because even the side you on will have propaganda, right? I see it all the time. I I'm like, yeah, I'm with that side right there. But then I see the side that I'm on, they pushing out their own untruths. I'm like, two wrongs don't even make it right. Two wrongs don't make it right.
About the New World Order is that it's not a natural progressing idea. It's just not civilization naturally evolving and organizing into this system. It's the group of extremely powerful people that are manipulating the system to get it to this status from behind the scenes without anybody's knowledge. You have to ask yourself, if there isn't an agenda going on to keep those organizations quiet and to keep them out of the news, to keep the discussions about them behind closed doors, then why is it that these supposed experts on the left and on the right never talk about them?
This has been a condensed history of the globalist organizations and their rise to power. But is there a reason they meet behind closed doors? A shadow world government has been mentioned. But to truly understand what that means, let's go back to this iconic warning from President Dwight D. Eisenhower.
Progress toward these noble goals is persistently threatened by the conflict now engulfing the world. It commands our whole attention, absorbs our very beings. We face a hostile ideology, global in scope, atheistic in character, ruthless in purpose, and insidious in method. In the councils of government, we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex.
The military-industrial complex has ruined America. Ruined it. Ruined it, ruined it, ruined it. And now they're so powerful, right? What can you do? I would like to hear some some suggestions because they're more powerful than the puppet government regime that we have. Like, this is not a real government, bro. Once you borrow so much money from the central bank and then you give it to yourself, like, why am I listening? Who are you that I'm listening to now, right? Think Larry Flint is sitting around listening to some senator? Pretty Divine says, does anybody else be listening to Manny P. Hall? I be trying to be nosy and find out what they planning. I listen to Manny P. Hall. What do you mean, the books? I got a bunch of Prince Hall books on Audible that I listen to. But me listening to Manny P. Hall, I felt was like me listening to. I felt the same way listening to Manny P. Hall, right? But I'm like, all right, where's Manny P. Hall getting his information from? So that's where I went, right? So I just skipped Manny P. Hall. I copped a couple of his books, but then I realized he's getting his stuff from the same place I'm getting my stuff from. So it don't make no sense. But all due respect, all due respect, no beef against Prince Hall, but you getting your information in the same place I'm getting my information from. Prince Hall got a lot of his information from the Rosicrucians, Pretty Divine. But you have to understand, this is what you have to understand. Yeah. All right. So I said this earlier, right? But let me just say it more plainly, because maybe a lot of times I be speaking in veiled interpretations like Jesus Christ, right? I think I'm the Christ. I'm out here speaking in parables. I do that a lot, and I apologize. So let me tell you straight up, right? Going back to the book of Eli, he said, if I just had the book, he said the words in the book, right? That's what the white man said in the book of Eli. Now, he wanted the words. What do you think he was going to do with the words? Guess who had the words? Denzel Washington had the words. And guess what? He chose to do with it. He chose to do good with what he interpreted from the words. That man, that other man wasn't going to do anything, but he wasn't going to do nothing but bad with the words, but evil with the words. You know why? Because it's what you do with the energy and the wisdom and the knowledge. So we cannot blame rogue fraternities that get the knowledge. Eli was the book, exactly. We cannot. So there's a lot of fraternities that learn the mysteries, right? And then some, what are you going to do with the mysteries now that you know, right? So you may have Clarence the 13th Allah. He learned the mysteries. He flip it out. He flip it on how he gonna flip it, give it to the people, and guess what? It actually started to help out his community rather than hurt it, right? But at that level, right? At the level that they on. But then you may have I'm just going to use this as an example because I don't know who started Skull and Bones, right? You may have Herbert Walker Bush or Prescott Bush. Let's go with Prescott, right? And him and his cronies get the same knowledge because it is the same knowledge. That's the funny thing. It's all the same knowledge. Everybody wants to know what they're learning in these mystery schools. Everybody's learning the same thing, bro. It don't matter what they're learning in the mystery schools. What is you going to do with it, right? Now that you then sat in a coffin with this guy, and not that saying that that's what they do, they get in coffins together. I'm just saying, now that you did this ritual, right? And you took this oath. A lot of people don't care about the knowledge that they was giving out. Yeah, they gave you knowledge. That was part of the process, right? You have some exercises, you have some rituals, but you're going to understand the history of this mystery, esoteric, forbidden knowledge. Everybody's doing the same thing. Everybody want to know what's the Illuminati doing. Illuminati ain't doing nothing different than every other secret society is doing. It's all the same information. It's just like Harry Potter, right? They all magicians. They was all magicians. But why was Slytherin? Because they had more of a darker edge. Do you get it now? This whole joint is Harry Potter. So it's not like I'm over here reading something different than what George Bush read. Now, we read the same thing. It's just that George Bush is about to get out here and use it for straight evil. And guess what? I got over here and I did something different. I said, no, I want to liberate people with it. And he said, fine, you could choose to do what you want with it. I'm going to oppress people with it. Let's see who wins. But I'm going to tell you right now, the Bible already warns us in Ephesians, right? There's this spiritual wickedness in high places. the governors and the principalities of this world. Who do you think they was talking about? Now the Rosicrucians have set out of the Rosicrucians have a framework. A lot of people like to condemn the Rosicrucians, but again, it's what you do. Man, I know some of the sweetest Rosicrucians in the world, right? And then there's some that they're gonna be like, "Oh, that guy's a racist. He's a Rosicrucian." It's not the Rosicrucian that don't condemn all the Rosicrucians because this guy's a racist. It's energy and his knowledge. Whatever he chose to do with his knowledge. This is why, just like programming, you got a bunch of programmers. And then you got some people that just go dark. That's what we would call a black hat. But then you got people who's going to use just as skillful, and he's not going to go dark. He don't believe in that. He just wants his check every 2 weeks. He's going to give it to his wife. His credit is good. You understand? He doesn't spend. He's not into the designer. Everything is starch straight. That's it. That's what you call a white hat. That's gang over there, right? So these people, and they're going to talk about them in a second. But again, you had these people at these elite schools that get in these fraternities with each other. These guys are not failing in life. They built this fraternity is built so you don't fail in life, right? You talking about the top 500 companies in the US. These guys went to the same schools. They're going to find you employment somewhere, right? These are the same guys who make decisions, who gives out the contracts on the committees. To answer your question, though, yes, I do read Manny P. Hall.
The potential for the disastrous rise of misplaced power exists and will persist.
Through multinational corporations, global intelligence networks, out-of-control banksters, all under the veil of national security and black operations, the global elite have consolidated power on a massive scale over the last several decades. You see, global corporations not only fund and develop large technological and military projects here and abroad, they also own the consumer industry and production, as well as all of the important media. By owning the vast majority of what we...
These are not humble people. You know, they didn't get into this to be humble. That's crazy. That's a strong fraternity, too. What is this, 42nd Street? It looks like it, right? Yeah, that's 42nd. Yep, that is 42nd. Because right here would be where the Cheesecake Factory was at, right? Allegedly. I'm talking mess. I don't know where this is at. This could be Germany for all I know. Like, I'm world renowned like that.
Hear and see on a daily basis, we have been manipulated on a mass scale as to regards to what we believe and desire, both socially and politically. Edward Bernays, the nephew of world-famous psychoanalyst Sigmund Freud, would study group dynamics and become the father of public relations. He authored the book Propaganda in 1928. In it, he described how to intelligently and consciously manipulate the habits and opinions of the masses within a democratic society. He went on to state that those who harness this unseen mechanism of society constitute an invisible government and are the true ruling power. It is they who pull the wires which control the public mind, who harness old social forces and contrive new ways to bind and guide the world.
The average American is distracted, mindless, worried about minuscule things, celebrities, as if it was their own family members. And this is by design, because the powers that be who own the media know how our brains work. They know scientifically how the human mind functions. They know about sociology, and they are using the media, and have used the media for decades now, to entertain people with issues that don't really matter.
It's crazy that I've said these things. Now, I have a book here called Behold the Pale Horse. There it is right there. Give me a second. Everybody. Behold the Pale Horse. Now, the first chapter of this book give me a second. Don't nobody go anywhere. Everybody just chill out. Teasing them on, Mr. Teasing them on. This is the first chapter. Hold up. That's the first chapter of the book. Now, the first chapter in this book goes on to explain how, you seen the title, right? Silent weapons for quiet wars. You know what that means? That means they're going to put so much on your plate that you won't have time to really understand what you're fighting against, because you won't understand what you're fighting against. Now, let me read the descriptive introduction of the silent weapon. Everything that is expected from an ordinary weapon is expected from a silent weapon by its creators, but only in its own manner of junctioning. It shoots situations. You hear? Listen. This is the great William Cooper, American hero. It shoots situations instead of bullets, propelled by data processing instead of chemical reaction explosion. Data processing. Originating from bits of data instead of grains of gunpowder. From a computer instead of a gun. Operated by a computer programmer instead of a marksman. Under the orders of a banking magnate instead of a military general. This book was written over like 30 years ago, beloved. So it sounds like he's alive today talking about AI. No, they've been allegedly killed off, Mr. Cooper. It makes no obvious explosive noises, causes no obvious physical or mental injuries, and does no obviously interfere with anyone's daily so-called life. Yet it makes an unmistakable noise, causes unmistakable physical and mental damage. Yes, it does. And unmistakable interferes with the daily social life, i.e., unmistakable to a trained observer, one who knows what to look for. Like me, I understand what to look for, so I try to explain it. But a lot of people, they just know they feel a vibe. It's chaotic outside. They don't know, right? Government say, yo, there's jobs everywhere. There's jobs everywhere. I'm like, there's no jobs, right? They're lying to you. Why would the government lie? I don't know. Question is, why is the government lying? Because I can rattle off 5 companies this month that said they letting go 70,000 here, 20,000 here. Right? So how's their jobs? What are you talking about? Right? Then they're doing something not to lie, right? So you can't lose jobs and then put in part-time jobs and then say to them, again, it's language manipulation. So they're going to say, yeah, but those are still jobs, Saladin. Let's not lie. Let's not lie. Those are still jobs, even though they're part-time. Yeah, well, beloved, say that though. Say that so that people, but if you let the people know exactly what's going on, Just like you did with when they asked Dr. Fauci, well, why'd you flip-flop right like that over the mask? And Fauci didn't even lie. He was like, well, we just didn't want to alarm the people and have everybody panic. Boom, flex bomb. That's why they don't tell you the truth, because they really don't want you to panic. Right? If they was to tell you the truth, they'd be like, yeah, this is one of the worst depressions that we've been involved in a while. And it's only going to get worse. We don't make anything. We have painted ourselves in a corner where we rely on other countries for simple things like grain. The United States. How'd you paint yourself in that corner? Well, we're waiting on a shipment from grain from the Ukraine. What are you talking about? You sound crazy right now. We're the United States, bro. Kenny Mack says Tyson factory laid off 3,000 citizen employees and are hiring 40,000 illegals to give them lawyers. So exactly. What I'm telling you is there got to be something over here. You can't. Why would we allow 5,000 immigrants to come into the United States? We allow that. And some weeks they said it was more. I'm giving you a light estimate, a very light estimate. Where are these people going? Right? Not only do they come over here, but then we take a budget and we say, okay, we're going to set aside millions for them now. Bro, they give that money out at the beginning of the year. Right? Sometimes they give it out with years in advance. So you got to budget your money now. So in the middle of all of this, they talk about the ending the food program. They ending SNAP. Wow. Let's keep going.
When you have the big news networks covering celebrity issues as if it's the most important thing, it becomes the most important thing. And this is not by accident. This is to keep us out of the way. Because if you're worried about the latest celebrity death or the latest celebrity couple or the celebrity breakup or your sports team having a shot at the Super Bowl or the World Series, there's so much information about those issues that can be discussed that will mesmerize people, and they won't know or care about the real issues that are out there.
Stop. Right? So when I discuss with you guys purpose, right? My ego may rise sometime and I get frustrated, but then I gotta remember, when I remember my purpose on, all right, you're supposed to keep the balance, Saladin, right? So therefore, you're not gonna have the same numbers as someone else that's out here talking about this, that, and the third every night. And what I definitely was doing for a while was I would do it just so I could get the attention and then bring it in and then try to feed people, but they don't want that. You can't promise somebody alcohol and a hit of dope, and then when you get there, you try to give them euthanasia, golden seal. Like, that's not what they signed up for, bro. They came here because you said that there was going to be dope at this party. Right? So recently, this week, I just gave up and said, yeah, that's not my approach no more. There's no dope at the party. I'm sorry. I was fronting. I don't have any dope over here. I have no dope. I only have Devil's Claw, peppermint, ginger, golden seal, echinacea, marshmallow leaf. You understand? And like they said in the Bible, like Jesus said, whoever have an ear, let him hear. That's the best I could do. If you got an ear, I'm over here for you. You understand? But if you want to talk about Diddy for 2 weeks at a time, I promise you there's going to be something that you missed. Because they're going to stretch this thing out, right? How easy was that? Didn't even arrest the man. The man is out here at an all-you-can-eat buffet running around with Stevie J. Stevie J got on his Real Love hat. Stevie J hasn't been so happy. He's never been happier. You understand? They're actually saying Stevie J's name in the mainstream media. He's giddy with joy right now. But this is also an amazing time because the amount of forbidden knowledge that is now being brung to the surface. Oh, I said, never mind. I don't need to talk about none of that unless I could teach a lesson from it, unless I could give an example from it, right? But we all see what happened. It's fun to talk about sometime, right? Definitely Meek Mill bunny hopping around on the tennis court of billionaires. That's funny. Right? I could go down that rabbit hole if I wanted to. And I do sometimes. But it got to be balanced. And we got to bring it back to patterns of how they usually do things, the history of these people, so that we are truly woke and stay on our pivot and stay on point, right? As we get older and our younger ones come up and we teach them the ways. This education that I'm giving and this knowledge that I give has to be passed down to your lineage. Because they would use the same playbooks over and over. You don't believe me? Watch this. Operation Northwoods was a false flag operations that the United States said, yo, why don't we blow up one of our own? Why don't we kill our own so that we get the sympathy from the citizens to go to war? Operation Northwoods. Look it up. Don't believe me. Just look it up. Let's bomb one of our own. A few of ours will die, but we'll get the people to sign on and say, yeah, let's go to war, right? Because they're going to think it came from the opposition. False flag. Now you're probably sitting like, damn, that's foul. Again, that's because you ain't getting no part of the check, right? And even if you was getting part of it, you probably be like, nah, I can't do that. I cannot even spend that money in good conscience, knowing that I killed it. Not innocents, right? The thousands of innocent men and women are gonna die so I can make a few $100,000. Many of you won't do it, but there's many that say, yeah, I'm gonna shoot that. And that's what you have to understand. Every time we judge a Sexy Red, and we got to understand if that Sexy Red didn't do it, then the Sexy Red behind her was going to do it, because people are not going to sit in a one cramped in a studio apartment hungry because of morals. A lot of people are not going to do it. They're just not built like that. You got to understand that. So, what did Jeffrey Young Thug do? Young Thug said, nigga, I know how to get their attention. I'm going to turn into a lady boy on their ass. I'm going to represent myself as a lady boy anyway. Your man got out here and got in a dress. Nigga got in a Hooters outfit. And everyone looked right at him and said, yo, we ain't never seen no Nigga looking like he had AIDS in a Hooters outfit. Actually, I have seen this. I've seen a nigga with AIDS in a Hooters outfit. Not looking like he was. I've actually seen a guy with AIDS in a Hooters outfit. Fuck that. But not as an entertainer. Okay, Eric. Yes. Have a good night, bro. Have a good night, bro. Peace to Eric Graham. I'm about to leave in 5 minutes anyway. We got 5 more minutes for the show.
Well, I think this is just one more piece of evidence of the degree to which the media, supposedly the watchdogs, has become the gatekeeper of the system.
So as the populace is mesmerized and hypnotized by powerful behind-the-scenes forces, as they are distracted by the latest celebrity scandal, the newest cell phone, and their favorite sports team, this network disguises itself, remaining in the shadows.
That network there is a strong network. Okay. Yeah. 4 more minutes. He said he's staying. For the last 4 minutes. So listen, if anybody wants to see, now let me go over here and check this time, because last time I was out here telling all type of okay. Yes, it's up there, right? So if you want to go and watch any of these videos that I am reacting to, you can go to the Ancient Astronaut Vault on Beyond You, right? And they're all here. Actually, the videos we just watched was from the Killuminati, right? But it's on Beyond You TV. That being said, Kingmakers, man. Kingmakers. I don't really know if someone from nowhere could just run for a political seat that high and become president of the United States. You have to be appointed. You have to be appointed, right? So I want to appreciate everyone in attendance tonight. You understand? I'm going to keep it brief because Eric Graham is in Sweden and he got to get up, and I appreciate him coming over here. There was a lot of people in the building tonight. Pretty Divine, GTN Basketball, shout out to you, bro. Kenny NYC, I seen him, man. Salute to you. You understand what I'm saying? I seen you. I was on my pivot. You understand? B Dolo, he crept up in here. Shout out to B Dolo. He's in the house. The General Splashing was here. Shout out to Sonia Smith. Shout out to Millie. You understand? Shout out to Trisha. That being said, I probably won't do nothing in the morning. If you see me in the morning, it'll be random, right? If you see me in the morning, it'll be a random conversation, right? That's why I gave you 2 shows today, right? So again, if you got that thirst and you like, damn, I need somewhere to go to really, you got a conscious itch, go over to Beyond You TV, because we got a fixing for your itching. You heard me? That being said, everybody have a blessed night. I'm about to we got some more treats, so do go over to Beyond You TV. We got some more treats for you tonight. That being said, peace out, everybody. Have a great night. Have a great tomorrow, because I don't know if I'm gonna see you. And just bless. You heard? All right. Peace.